Good afternoon to one and all. My name is Tanay. Our team, including myself, Krishna, Shayan, and Rajath, is here to deliver a presentation on depression screening in IT industry using machine learning under the guidance of Kavya Priya ma'am. Starting with the introduction, I want to emphasize upon what is depression and why have we selected this particular project. Depression is a common mental disorder characterized by persistent sadness, loss of interest, and inability to carry out daily activities. People with depression often experiences loss of energy, change in appetite, sleeping disorder, anxiety, reduced concentration, indecisiveness, restlessness, worthlessness, guilt or hopelessness, and thoughts of self-harm and suicide. The traditional way of treating depression includes antidepressants and therapy. Psychotherapy aims to improve an individual's well being and mental health. Psychological therapy involves personal interaction to help a person change their behavior and overcome problems in desired ways. Moving on to the problem statement, depression is a serious concern because it affects more than 300 million people every year, especially the young generations. A depressed person is affected in each way from mental form to physical form. Depression can lead to suicide if untreated. Hence, taking the seriousness into consideration, we proposed a questionnaire-based ML project that analyzes and categorizes the person suffering from depression and hence taking the problem statements from the main journals published in the recent years. Now I would request Shayan to take over.
Good noon, everyone. This project aims to be a part of the progress of humanity towards better mental health care. It uses a machine learning approach that poses questions and determines the presence and type of depression based on the answers given by the user. Machine learning models take the role of psychiatrists and therapists. It's a cold, non-judgmental software interface that the user interacts with. So basically a Q&A platform. Now let's see some of the existing systems. The existing system suggests therapy or consulting a psychiatrist. It is a costly affair. Another major problem is that people are hesitant to open up their problems with strangers. And there is no assurance going to a therapist will help unless it is an expert psychiatrist. Most of the online tests conducted today use Goldberg's depression test. It is a simple, self-administered screening test for depression. It is an online test consisting of 18 questions that determine the level of depression in a person. This approach is outdated for modern situations as it doesn't take into account other factors like our family and work relations. Another approach is to use facial expression analysis to detect depression. This approach is unethical if done without consent. It is also not a good way for detecting depression since people can hide their emotions well. Another major issue with detecting depression using facial expressions is that it cannot differentiate between sadness and depression. Another popular approach is to use sentiment analysis to detect depression. This approach uses a person's social media to look for posts that suggest that a person might have depression. Now, I request Krishna to continue with the further presentation.
Keeping all the above drawbacks in mind, we feel that a questionnaire strikes the right balance between accuracy, interpretability, and accessibility. But the Goldberg's test and machine learning based questionnaire that takes parameters to predict 3 levels of depression can tend to give inaccurate solutions as we are not specific about the depression type. So, for proper medication cannot be given since the target disorder is not well defined. Thus, we propose a machine learning based questionnaire model that takes certain parameters like interest in doing things, feeling down, poor appetite, low in energy, etc., and predict the presence of depression along with its specific type, such as major depression, dysthymia, atypical depression, postpartum depression, etc., to provide the right treatment. Since our approach is data driven rather than instruction driven, we can achieve a high level of generalization compared to hard coded programs. The machine learning approach is also highly scalable and retrainable, and our solution will allow an anonymous person to take the test that will store no personal data and would provide complete privacy. Since we use questionnaire, we can analyze and interpret the output of the model That is not possible by using facial expression approach and is barely possible with the sentiment analysis. We'll collect the data from OSMH, OSMI mental health tech survey, then select the attributes that best fits and train the machine learning model with the same, then assign the joint point to each user input, which later will be added to get to the final score. That will help in determining severity of depression and help in classifying the types. Now let's look at the objectives. The first one is to develop a real-time application model, then to explore different machine learning algorithms to find out that suits the best for prediction, applying different feature engineering techniques to select relevant features or create new features from the large number of features, studying and evaluating the performance of different classifiers of machine learning and deep learning using performance metrics such as accuracy and precision, to provide an accessible, relevant, and affordable way to screen specific depression type using questionnaire, then to provide reliable and accessible individual solution and advise the patient based on the prediction. Then finally, to visually present the predicted result for better analysis. Now let's look at the methodology from Shayan, from Rajath.
Looking at methodology, at first the data required for the project will be taken from OSMI survey dataset. The survey data contains details of multiple responses of individuals about their mental health. This data is then processed to handle missing values, inconsistent values, and other anomalies in the dataset. The values are processed such that they can be used for machine learning. The survey presents us with many features that could be implemented, like decision trees, binning, random forest, etc. The next step is to train machine learning models. This is done by training multiple models and analyzing their performance using measures such as accuracy, precision, and recall. Based on these measures, the best model is chosen. The selected model is then implemented in a web-based application and then deployed. Users can take the questionnaire using the web interface. The given data is then fed to a machine learning model working in the backend, and the results are predicted. The predicted results are then visually represented for better analysis. To conclude, our motivation for the project is to address a severe and mostly ignored social issue, that is depression. The available system makes use of machine learning and detects the 3 levels of depression, which can sometimes be misleading when providing the right medications. The project thus proposes a machine learning system that predicts the presence of depression and its particular type by using a suitable machine learning algorithm and an enhanced questionnaire system. Thank you.